Is the screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Till now we have seen different systems for television, which includes NTSC, PAL and CCAM. CCAM is used in France, which is not included in US syllabus. So you have to study only NTSC and PAL. We have seen NTSC system, and we know the limitations of NTSC. Now, any new system is developed when there is all a problem with the existing system. If there is any problem or any issue with the existing system, then only people try to find out the new system. It is the mother of invention. So as NTSC system, we all are aware that NTSC system had some limitations, and that limitation were like when they are transmitted using wireless and wire both medium, there will be error in the phase. There will be a phase shift of the color signal, which will change the color. If it is red, it may appear like a pink and orange. So to avoid that error, and to avoid this limitation, the new system needs to be developed. And the new system developed was PAL color television system. The PAL system, which is variant of NTSC system, this PAL system is actually variant of NTSC system, was developed in Germany. It was developed in Germany. The phase error susceptibility, the problem with NTSC was phase error. The phase error susceptibility of the NTSC system has been largely eliminated. It was eliminated in PAL system. So NTSC was developed first. After that, PAL was developed, and the error which was there in NTSC was avoided in PAL. The main feature of PAL systems are first, the weighted B minus Y and R minus Y signal. The weighted B minus Y and R minus Y signals are modulated. They are modulated without being given a phase shift of 33 degree as done in NTSC system. Like in NTSC system, what we had done, we had generated two new signals that were I and B, and they were given some phase shift 33 degree, 57 degree. This phase shift is avoided in PAL system transmitter. In PAL, we directly transmits R minus Y and B minus Y, but we don't give any phase shift to them. Second, on modulation, both the color difference quadrature signals are allowed the same bandwidth, about 1.3 megahertz. On modulation, both the color difference quadrature signals are allowed the same bandwidth, about 1.3 megahertz. This results in better color reproduction. In NTSC, what we were doing, we were allocating how much bandwidth we had allocated to I, yes, Abbas, in NTSC. Yes, how much bandwidth is allocated to I and how much to Q? Shahid Anwar, how much was allocated to I and how much to Q? Yes, are you there? You are present. Shahid Anwar, Abbas Sheikh, how much was allocated to I and how much to Q? Ahmad, how did we allocate bandwidth in NTSC system? What was our allocation formula? Anybody remember the way we had allocated bandwidth in NTSC system?
Point 0.60 R minus 0.28 G minus 0.32 B.
How much bandwidth is allocated to I and Q in NTSC system? Yes,
For I 1.5 megahertz.
right. We allocate 1.5 to I and zero point 0.5 to Q. In this way, we allocate 2 megahertz in NTSC system. But in PAL system, we allocate same bandwidth to both R minus Y and B minus Y, that is 1.3 megahertz. About 1.3 megahertz. This results in better color reproduction. It results in better color reproduction. However, the chroma signal is of vestigial sideband. And we know that the transmission we have in PAL system is vestigial sideband. And we have studied vestigial sideband transmission. Okay, what is vestigial sideband transmission? What is VSB transmission? We have studied VSB transmission, VSB reception, VSB correction. What is VSB transmission? Rahil? Hello. Yes, sir. What is VSB transmission?
Sir, VSB transmission sir modulation process where the signal part is called as a vestigial sir. उसमें मतलब अपना जो modulated signal रहता है along with one side band रहता है सर VSB प्लॉट कर सकते हैं अपन मतलब analog with upper side band part of lower side band along with transmitted होता है मतलब उसमें.
Right answer. In vestigial sideband transmission, we can allow only one part of the frequency band to pass through, and we can restrict another one part. Like if my bandwidth is around 2 megahertz, so then I can transmit 1.5, I can transmit 1 to 2, and I can restrict 0 to 1. This is called vestigial sideband transmission. It means I can restrict one part of the bandwidth and I can allow next part of the bandwidth to pass through. So this is called vestigial sideband transmission. So here also we use vestigial sideband transmission. Actual the bandwidth allocated is 1.5 for R minus Y and 1.5 for B minus Y. 1.5 for R minus Y and 1.5 for B minus Y. But what we do, we use vestigial sideband transmission technique and we restrict 0.2 megahertz of lower sideband and we allow all the remaining bandwidth to pass through. In this way, we pass through 1.3. We restrict only 0.2 megahertz and we allow 1 point remaining to pass through. So the allocated bandwidth becomes 1.3. 1.3 for B minus Y and 1.3 for R minus Y. It becomes 2.6 megahertz. Actually, we allocate 1.5, 1.5 to both. In this way, we allocate 3 megahertz. The color subcarrier frequency is chosen to be 4.43. The color subcarrier frequency is chosen to be 4.433 megahertz. It is an odd multiple of the 1/4 of line frequency instead of half line offset as used in NTS system. This results in somewhat better cancellation. So allocated color frequency, we all know that we have studied in VSB transmission ratio. It is 4.43 megahertz. It is 4.43 megahertz. The weighted B minus Y and R minus Y signals are modulated with subcarrier in same way as it NTSC system, but with difference that phase of subcarrier to one of the modulators is reversed from plus 90 to minus 90 degree. The weighted B minus Y and R minus Y signals are modulated with subcarrier in the same way as in NTSC system. Like we had modulated the our I and Q in NTSC in this same way, R minus Y and B minus Y are modulated using quadrature amplitude modulation. This is amplitude modulation. I had told you the difference between amplitude, frequency and phase modulation in first lecture. That we can transmit the information either using amplitude modulation by varying the amplitude. It means we are sending our information in the amplitude of the signal. And by varying the phase, it means we are sending our information in phase. And by varying the frequency, and that means we are sending our information by varying in the frequency. This results in somewhat better cancellation. So here we have used quadrature. Here we have used quadrature amplitude modulation, but with the difference that the phase of the subcarrier to one of the modulators is reversed from plus 90 to minus 90 degree. Just difference is that we have phase shifted the phase from 90 to minus 90 degree. At the line frequency, as explained earlier, the B minus Y and R minus as explained earlier, the B minus Y and R minus Y subcarrier component in the chromatin signals are scaled down by multiplying them with the weighing factor. They are now multiplied by some weighing factors. Like in I and Q, we had multiplied it by some weighing factor. In this way here, R minus Y and B minus Y are also multiplied by some weighing factor. These weighted signals are then referred to as U and V. Now this becomes new signals when R minus Y and B minus are weighted. That weighted means if I am multiplying R minus Y by 0.5, any multiplication factor, 1, 2, 0.5, 0.6, 0.3, and B minus Y is multiplied by some multiplication factor. Now we get the new signal where U is equal to 0.493 B minus Y, where U is equals to 0.493 B minus Y. This is U signal, and V is equal to 0.877 R minus Y. U is 0.493 B minus Y and V is 0.877 R minus. Therefore, we get the chroma signal. This total of this U and V we get the resultant of u and v, where c is equal to u sine omega t plus minus v cos omega t, which is under root of u square plus v square into sine of omega t plus minus theta. The angle theta is given by theta is equal to tan inverse of v by u. Theta equals to here tan inverse of v by u. U is equal to 0.493 b minus y and v is equal to 0.877 r minus y. These are weighted signals. The signals are nothing but r minus y and b minus y, but we have multiplied them with some factor, so we give them new name u and v. You can see u and v signal over here as shown in the picture. There is a 90-degree phase shift between u and v. Now here we have seen that the phase of one signal is shifted from plus 90 to minus, that is of v, it is shifted from plus 90 to minus 90. What we have done, we have given a phase shift of minus 90 to v, so this becomes our new signal. The PAL signal were applied to an NTSC type decoder. The B minus Y output would be U as required, but the R minus Y output would alternate from plus V to minus V. It will alternate from plus V to minus V because we have given a minus 90-degree phase shift. Therefore, the V modulator must be switched to the half the horizontal line frequency to give plus V only on all successive lines. Clearly, the PAL receiver must be told how to achieve the correct switching mode. This is U and V. This was the resultant for U and V. It was at 45 degree because both are having phase shift of 90 degree. Therefore, phase shift will be at resultant will be at 45 degree. Now V has given a phase shift of minus 90. Earlier it was plus 90, so it becomes minus 90. Now this is the resultant. PAL D color system. The use of eye as the averaging mechanism of the correct hue is the basis of simple PAL color system. However, beyond a certain limit, the eye does not see the effect of color changes on alternate lines, and so the system needs modification. Remarkable improvement occurs in the system if a delay line is employed to do the averaging first and then present the color to the eye. This is known as PAL-D or delay line PAL method system. This D is nothing for delay line. This delay is occurred because of that minus 90-degree phase shift. Therefore, we call it PAL-D. Or delay line PAL method is most commonly used in PAL color receiver. As an illustration of the PAL-D averaging technique shows the basic circuit used for separating individual U and V products from the chrominance signal. For convenience, both U and V have been assumed to be positive. For convenience, both U and V have been assumed to be positive. That is, they correspond to some shade of magenta. Thus, for the first line, when the V modulator clock is at 90 degree to the U axis, the phasor can be expressed as U plus JV. This is called the NTSC line. But on the alternate next line, when the V phase is switched to minus 90, the phasor becomes U minus JV, and the corresponding line is then called the PAL line. We can have both U plus JV and U minus JV because of that minus 90-degree phase shift. A delay line adding and subtracting circuits are interposed between the chrominance amplifier and demodulator. So the object of the delay line is to delay the chrominance signal by almost exactly one line period of 64 microsecond. The chrominance amplifier feeds the chrominance signal to the adder, the subtractor and the delay line. The delay line in turn feeds its out to both the adder and subtractor circuit. This is all about delay line when delay is introduced because of our minus 90-degree phase shift. So we can avoid that delay. This is video from the video preamplifier. We give it to chrominance bandpass amplifier. Remember, this block was blocked in NTSC receiver by some circuit. What was the name of that circuit? This chrominance bandpass amplifier and bandpass filter was blocked by a circuit in NTSC system. What was the name of that circuit? Yes, who will answer this? Junaid, what is the name of the circuit in NTSC system which blocks bandpass filter, chroma bandpass filter? You should remember, all of you should remember, I had explained twice. Chroma bandpass filter. What will be the function of chroma bandpass filter? Yes, Junaid, you are there.
color killer circuit.
Yes, the name is color killer circuit. Right answer. In NTSC system, what was the function of color killer circuit? To disable this bandpass chroma bandpass filter, which amplifies the chroma signal, color signal. Because if the transmission was monochrome, if the transmission is monochrome, it will amplify the monochrome color, which is black and white, and it will appear as a noise on the screen. It looks like a snow or white dots on the screen. So the function of color killer, when the signal is monochrome, it should disable this filter. And but here chrominance bandpass amplifier, now we have given a color information to it, that is U and JV. What is actually U and V? U and V are actually nothing, R minus Y and B minus Y. They are red and blue signals. We have weighted them and we have named them as U and V. U plus JV, U minus JV, which is direct signal, which is fed to delay line of 63.943. Why we are introducing this delay line? Because of the phase shift of this V, plus V and minus V. Because of this phase shift of V plus V and minus V, there will be a delay of one line. U plus JV and U minus JV both are given to adder and subtractor. This matrix calculation is done, both are added and subtracted. This U plus JV plus U minus JV will be now here we are adding U plus JV and both the signals are added. U plus JV and U minus JV. When both are added, plus JV minus JV got cancelled. The resultant is 2U. And when both are subtracted, U minus JV, both are added because this is adder. Here we have added both the signals. This is subtractor. If both are subtracted, U plus JV minus U minus JV, then this UU will get cancelled. JV will get added and we will get 2JV. And this way we will get the output here here we will get 2U, here we will get 2JV, that is U output but at the adder and V output at the subtractor. Okay. So we'll get both U and V separately. We can separate out the U and V using this circuit. Now all of you understood this? What happened? We have created two new. What is the function of operation of PAL receiver? We generate two more signal U and V, like INQN, NTSC. We have generated two new signal, UNV, like INQN, NTSC. But in NTSC, what we had done, we had given them phase shift. Here we have generated UNV by just weighing the signal R minus Y and B minus Y. We have allocated some weight like 0.493 and zero point 0.6 to generate U and V using R minus Y and B minus Y. Then we have shifted phase of V by minus 90 from plus 90 to minus 90, because there is a phase shift of plus 90 between U and V. And we got two signals U and V. This U plus, then we got the resultant of this, that is U plus JV. Now because of phase shift we got two resultant, U plus JV and U minus JV. U and V are 90-degree phase shifted. Resultant will be C equal to under root of U square plus V square. But as we have phase shifted it to my minus 90 degree, we will get the two resultant. One is U plus JV, second is U minus JV. Now both these signal are added and subtracted to get separate out U and V. In this circuit, what we are doing, we are adding and subtracting both U plus JV and U minus JV to get the separate signals of U and V. We use adder and subtractor, and because of all this procedure, there is an error of one delay line. And one delay line is introduced because of this phase shifting. Color subcarrier generation. The color subcarrier frequency of 4.433 megahertz is generated. In VSB, we have studied that the color is information is transmitted at 4.433 frequency. In PAL system also, it is generated at 4.433 megahertz. With a crystal controlled oscillator, use an oscillator to generate this carrier frequency. This is basically carrier frequency. So we need crystal oscillator to generate a frequency in megahertz. This is in RF range megahertz. So we need an crystal oscillator. Crystal oscillator generates frequency in megahertz. In order to accomplish minimum raster disturbance through the color subcarrier, it is necessary to maintain the correct frequency relationship. And to avoid any disturbance, we should maintain the correct frequency in relationship between the scanning frequency and the subcarrier frequency. It is therefore usual to count down from subcarrier frequency to twice the line frequency, 2fH. The pulses which are normally fed to monochrome sync pulse generators. There are several ways in which frequency division There are several ways in which frequency division can be accomplished. In the early days of color television, it was necessary to choose frequency which had low order factor so that division could take place in easy stages. But such constraints are no longer necessary. The PAL subcarrier frequency is first generated directly, then the 25 Hz output obtained from having the field frequency is subtracted from subcarrier frequency. The frequency thus obtained is first divided by 5 and then by 227. Such a large division in practice is practicable by using chain of binary counters and feedback certain of the counted down pulses to earlier points of the chain, that the countdown is changed from a division of 2 raised to 8 to a division of 2 to 7. This is generation of subcarrier frequency, which is generated at 4.433 megahertz using a crystal oscillator. And like I had explained you, the reception of PAL system till now. Okay, who will explain this PAL TV system transmission in this section? Yes, how we do PAL transmission? Yes, Adin, how we do PAL transmission? How we do PAL transmission? Yes, how we do PAL transmission? What technique we use to do the PAL transmission? Just safe. What are the techniques we used to do the PAL transmission? Yes, Sheikh Asif.
सर टेक्निक तो अपन QAM यूज करते हैं, क्वाड्रेचर इम्प्रूव्ड मॉड्यूलेशन
Hmm,
पाल सिस्टम में.
correct. Yeah,
और
or different procedures we had employed.
yes sir.
What were the procedures we employed? Like in NTSC, we generated I and Q. Okay, fine. Your answer is okay. Uh, Now, Sheikh Asif, what process we have employed for PAL transmission? Yes. What process we have employed for PAL transmission? Yes, Asif. Yes, Kef. Which process we have employed for PAL transmission? Yes, Inzamam. What are the procedures we have employed for PAL transmission? Yes, Inzamam. What techniques we used for PAL
Sir,
transmission?
you feel techniques.
Yes.
The weighted B minus Y and
Yes.
R minus Y signals are modulated
Yes. Weighted B minus 1 R minus signals are modulated. And which signals we generated from this weighted R minus 1
without
B?
being given a phase shift.
Yes, without being given a phase shift. Correct. Next.
And on modulation, both the color difference signals are given the same bandwidth of 1.3 megahertz,
Yes, we had allocated the same bandwidth for both. Weighted signal here 1.3 megahertz. Correct.
which gives better color reproduction.
Yes.
And upper sideband attenuates at the 0.57 megahertz.
Yes.
and the lower side band as 1.3 megahertz.
Right.
And the color subcarrier frequency is 4.433 megahertz.
Correct. Fine.
And because of this, the result we get has the better cancellation
Yes.
of dot pattern interference.
Hmm. Okay. Which two signals we have generated from R minus and Y and B minus Y here? Josefa, which two new signals we have generated here? Like I and Q in NTSC. Two signals we have generated in PAL.
U and V.
Yes, we have generated U and V in PAL system. What is the phase shift between U and V? Will answer. What was the phase shift between U and V?
minus 90 degree.
Yes, minus 90 degree. There is a phase shift of minus 90 degree between U and V. Now using U and V, we have generated a color transmission system for PAL. Okay. Which two signals we get add and subtract to separate out U and V? Which two signals we add and subtract to separate out U and V? Yes. Abbas. Ahmad. Which two signals we separate? Which two signals we separate out?
U minus JV.
Yes, U plus JV and U minus JV. The signals are U plus JV and U minus JV. These two signals we add and subtract to get U and V. Okay, what is the error introduced because of this phase shifting? What error is introduced in PAL system due to this phase shift of plus 90 to minus 90? Yes, this phase shift causes which error? What error this phase shift causes? Yasin, Fahad Yasin. Yes,
Content remain almost the same from line to line. Error the resultant phasor has the same amplitude of the both lines.
yes, correct. This causes a one line delay actually. This is explained by me. This is the error introduced by the phase shift. And this way we do the PAL transmission. In the next lecture, we are going to study PAL coder, that is PAL encoder. And after that, we will go for PAL decoder. PAL Yes, we will meet in the next lecture. You can leave now. Thank you. Enough for today's lecture. Hello, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
सर अटेंडेंस
अटेंडेंस हो जाती है आप लोगों की?
अफजल सर नहीं है ना सर लेक्चर में, इसके लिए।
हाँ, नहीं ज्वाइन करके चले गए ना।
थैंक यू सर।
वेलकम। ज्वाइन कर लिए थे उन्होंने तो लेके चले गए अटेंडेंस।
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर। ओके सर।